Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like no matter what you do, it's never enough? You're constantly second guessing yourself, over explaining, over giving, or feeling guilty just because you have needs. If what I'm saying triggers something for you, this video should help connect the dots for you in a way that's gonna feel a little uncomfortable, but will actually help you to start to feel freedom. I'm talking about what narcissistic moms do to their kids, and more importantly than that, how you can actually heal from that. And I want to be clear, this isn't about blaming or randomly labeling, just to use a trendy term. This is about understanding patterns that have occurred in your life so that you can finally break free from the foolishness. One of the hardest parts about having a narcissistic mother is that the damage is often invisible. There's no obvious event that you can point to. No single moment where you can say that's where everything broke. No, it's subtle. It's years of emotional conditioning. It's growing up in an environment where your feelings were dismissed, where your identity was shaped for someone else's comfort, and where love felt conditional. I'm so sorry. Love should never be conditional. And because of that conditioning, it's been difficult for you to even realize that something was wrong. You just grew up thinking this is normal. And this is how relationships are. And I guess I'm the problem. That confusion and that self-doubt, that didn't happen by accident. Nor, and hear me, nor is that the truth of how life is. That was conditioning. Today, you get power. Because since you now can see it, you can change it. Let's make this real. Tell me if these sound familiar to you. You feel responsible for other people's emotions. You have a hard time saying no without feeling guilty. You over-explain yourself even when you've done nothing wrong. You feel uncomfortable receiving love, but comfortable giving it. And you have a very loud, very harsh inner critic that just will never let you breathe. Well, these, my dear, are very common responses of daughters and sons of narcissistic mothers. It's not just you. And the extra nasty part of all of that is some of these behaviors are actually things that society praises us for. Oh, she's so selfless. I wish I was like you. Your girl could never. And our very favorite, but you're the strong one. And underneath all of that, there's exhaustion. There's resentment. And a very deep feeling of being unseen. This all started when you were young, but it still shows up later in life. Because with even more audacity, this conditioning just doesn't stay in childhood. It follows you into your relationships, your career, your friendships, into everything. And so now you find yourself attracting emotionally unavailable partners, overworking to prove your worth, struggling with boundaries, and feeling, this is the worst one for me, feeling like you have to earn love instead of simply just receiving love because you're worthy of love. And here's the core of it. You were taught, and you were taught, both directly and indirectly, that your value comes from what you do and not who you are. And I am so sorry, but that, my dear, is not the truth. Your value comes from who you are. Because you were taught that your value came from what you do, you became hyper aware of others and you disconnected from yourself. So you know how everybody else feels. You're just not always sure how you feel and what you feel. But baby, it's time to reconnect to you. And this is a part most people skip because they don't realize that it's possible. The reconnection to you, the healing, that's possible. I'm going to be honest with you. Healing is not always just a single aha moment and then everything is better. Although sometimes that aha moment can break through and open up a lot for you. Mostly the healing process is an unlearning of conditioning and a rebuilding. Step one of this healing is awareness. And we've started that right now because you can't change what you don't recognize. But I'm calling it out so you can see it. Step two is separating your voice from the voice you were conditioned to internalize. You know that voice, that critical one in your head, that's not your voice. You thought it was, but it's not your voice. That's not your truth. That's something you absorbed from all those years of conditioning and all of that negative talk that came to you. Let's sit in that for a minute. That voice in your head, that critical voice, that's not you. And we're going to talk a lot more deeply about how to recognize the difference between your voice and that critical voice. Step three of your healing is learning to give yourself what you never received. Validation, safety, permission to exist just as you are. That's where things start to shift for you. The shift doesn't happen overnight, but it happens gradually and it happens powerfully. Healing actually does happen. I want to bring up one more thing that can feel almost impossible at first, but it's hard for your mind to conceive because you've spent so much time molding yourself to make others' lives comfortable. This is what I want you to know. It's very important that you possess your space here on this earth. Close your eyes and feel that. Possess your space. Because you're breathing right now, the fact that you're breathing right now, you have an intentional space here. And right now in our little talk, this is the beginning of figuring out your purpose in your intentional space. Baby, you're not here by accident. I don't care what your mama told you. And you're certainly not here to make everyone else's life go forward at the cost of your own life. How you begin to possess your space is by creating boundaries. And I know that's hard to think about because you were raised to prioritize somebody else's needs over your own. So setting boundaries feels wrong. It feels selfish. It's uncomfortable. It's even scary because if I say no, then I won't be good and then I won't fit anymore. And then why am I even here? Baby, those are lies. This is the truth. Boundaries are not rejection. They're self-respect. You don't need to explain them perfectly. You don't need to justify them endlessly. And you don't need permission to set boundaries for yourself. But if you feel like you do, I'm giving it to you right now. Set personal boundaries. Start small. Start saying no without over-explaining. Start occupying your space without guilt. Start choosing yourself. Whew. Even when it feels unfamiliar and scary. Because self-worth isn't something that you wait to feel. It's something that you build through your actions. I want you to know this. I want you to hear it. Know it. You're not broken. You adapted to the life that you were placed into. And that adaptation was a powerful response. That's a superhero response. And now that you know that you're inherently powerful, you can show up differently. You can show up for you this time, and the next time, and the next time. Baby, it's time. Remember, the way that you were treated, that's not the way you have to treat yourself. And with that realization, and with that newness, that's where everything shifts and changes and begins again for you. I see you. I see you. And you're wonderful.